can see what we're doing here. Alrighty, so what we've got, Sean has very little sebaceous activity, very little oil. He has just a little bit around the nose. You can see he has a few blackheads around there, and that's what you can always tell when somebody has an oily area, because that's where they have their blackheads. So Sean's skin is what we call a combination dry. That means very little oil, a few blackheads around the nose, but mostly dry. Drier forehead, drier cheeks, and drier around the eye area. Now, if you have a good look at this nose, this is what I wanted to point out. This is a nose that has been burnt a number of times over the years, and clearly it's hard to avoid when you are spending so much time outdoors, even especially as a surfer, somebody that's in the water, having to put sunblock on as often as one needs to and then have it stay on is very, very difficult. But you can see where it's really been burnt in this area here, and you see that he's got some little, you see these little scaly bits, which at a later date he's going to have zapped at his dermatologist. This is an area he's going to have to keep an eye on and have regular checkups at his dermatologist, probably every 6 to 12 months, just to make sure there's no little basal cells starting there. But this, as I said, an area that has been burnt over the years, so we want to keep a really close eye on that as one ages. Now we're moving down here. Sean has a few little milia around his eyes. We're not going to be doing anything about that today, but his skin is really, really surface dry. So we're going to work it, we're going to hydrate it a lot, and see how it moves almost like a sheet when you move it. It's not as soft and supple as we want, so we want to really feed the skin a lot of nutrients. He's got some fine little premature lines up here on his forehead. Right up here, you can see these tiny little lines up here, and these are not really wrinkles. These ones here are what we call premature lines, because those are not going to be there by the time we finish our treatment. These ones here on his forehead are a wrinkle, and these are expression lines. So these are the ones that, using retinols, using actives will help lessen the depth of that, but they are unavoidable as we age, those premature lines, unless, of course, you're getting Botox and doing things to create stillness there. Now we're going to move down onto the neck area. And this neck area, especially for a lot of guys, is a really, really tricky area. It's something that, number one, gets a lot of sun. And especially for guys, if they are using a cologne or an aftershave after they shave, what's going to happen is the alcohol in that product will mix with the sun. It's going to give them a lot of coloring on the neck. So often when you see staining in this neck area, it is going to be because they're using cologne, they're putting something on, then they're going in the sun. Now, Sean's neck he's had a lot of sun, clearly we've discussed that, but we're going to do a lot of work on his neck to really, again, just to work this area. It's very dry, it's pigmented, it's a little ruddy, and it's just, more than anything, it's just super duper dry. So we're going to be feeding his skin today, and we're going to be hydrating his skin. So it's going to be a very, very lengthy massage, and one that is lifting and really toning on his skin and hydrating.